Hello everyone and welcome to Ursa Minor Sewing. I'm Samantha and today I'm here to announce my first project for the channel, which also just so happens to be the first cosplay project I've ever done. So let's get to it. I'll show you what I'm going to do and give you a breakdown of the process that I'm going to use. And the lucky winner for my very first cosplay project ever is Princess Peach from Super Mario Bros. Or Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I really love this costume. There's a lot of detail in it. Probably the first time you ever see something more detailed than the classic Princess Peach. I'll show you my swatches that I just ordered for fabric. So the main pink, the underskirt, overskirt, bodice, and sleeves are all going to be done in this color here, and this is a peau de soie. It's a bridal satin, but it's matte, so it's not super shiny. The lower hem, the peplum, the band for the puff sleeve, and the collar are all going to be done in this satin here. This is a very lightweight satin. The lower band of lace here, the central ruffling along her bodice, and possibly the gloves are going to be made out of the white satin here, also pretty lightweight. And then the gold filigrees that you see along the overskirt and along the underskirt are going to be done in this gold fabric here. And those are going to be made using heat and bond and using an applique technique, but we'll get to that later. I don't have any lace here to show you yet because I'm still looking, but I just found a lace for the bottom here, for the upper edge here, and the lower edge here, and I don't have them yet because I just ordered them. I'm still looking for something remotely close to this. So there are several patterns that I've had to use, that I'm going to have to use to put this pattern, or put this garment, I should say, together, because I couldn't find just one that would work. So let me show you those. Just leave her here. The first one that I'm using is this hoop skirt. This is from Truly Victorian TV141 round cage crinoline. You're probably asking, well, why not just order a crinoline and save yourself the time? I figured I'd put one of these together so that in the future it's just to cut off at the pass all of the requests to do a hoop skirt tutorial. So here it is, and this one's actually fairly big, so it's going to give me that nice big fullness and take a lot of load off so that I don't have to wear a ton of layers. So the pattern for the dress, and this is going to take like 3 different patterns to do. The first pattern I have here is McCalls 6629. This is a knockoff pattern for Mirror Mirror. You probably recognize a couple of them. But the parts that I'm culling from this are the underskirt and the overskirt from this dress. I'm going to have to lengthen this a little bit. I'm also culling the bottom edge of this part, or this dress here. And I'm going to be using this to help me draft in the V-line for her bodice here. Because I'm going to have to alter a few things, but I'm not going to be using the bodice from this. I'll get to that in just a minute. My next pattern that I'm taking some pieces from is this one, also McCalls 5954. And the pieces that I'm taking from this one are the puff sleeve, which I'm probably going to make a little puffier, and the peplum, which I'm going to make a little bit longer because, as you can see, her peplum is quite deep. The other alteration I'm going to have to make to this puff sleeve is she has a Renaissance slit down the side here. I actually have a better picture to show you. You'll notice in this side shot of her, she actually has a slit here that's being held together with little bows, kind of like what they used to do in the Renaissance. So that's also what I'm going to do. Lots and lots of fixer-uppers on this costume, but it's going to look great when I'm done. Just note. Next, now I told you I'm not going to be using the bodice from any of those because they don't work. There's too much involved, so what I'm actually going to end up doing is drafting it. I just took a whole bunch of courses from Craftsy. These ones are the Pattern Making Basics courses by Susie Furr. They're really great. I've taken all of them so far. She's a really great teacher. And so I'm going to use the knowledge that I've gleaned from this to make this portion, the bodice and the collar, because I couldn't find any patterns that I could use to make this. And this is going to be a very interesting pattern because she's got gathering along the sides here. There are other little details here that are on here, like for example, she's got piping along the edge here and in between the ruffling or the gathering on the front. But again, this is going to be things that we tackle in later videos. Finally, or the final pattern that I have here for you has nothing to do with the dress because we've pretty much covered that, is the gloves. This is Vogue pattern. Which one is this? 7949, and I'm going to be using figures B and figure H to put the glove together, because as you can see her gloves are quite long. Bring that back up, but they don't actually hug her arm all the way up. They flare a little bit, and once I've made that flare, I'm going to cover it in lace. She's got lace that comes down to almost her wrists, so that'll be that. That's it for the sewing portion. Next I'll have to cover props. I'll have to make her crown, the jewels in the crown, her earrings, her brooch. She's got a ring on her left hand, wig. I'm going to have to buy a wig, which I'm getting from Arta Wigs, and style it. The other thing I'm going to need to get is shoes. Having a hard time finding anything that looks good. And then the other thing I'm going to be making is her parasol. And I made sure to order extra fabric just so that I could make this parasol. And it should be really easy because I'm going to use boning and a wooden dowel mostly to make the frame. The rest should just come together. So there she is. That is the breakdown for Princess Peach. So that's the breakdown for Princess Peach. I hope you guys have liked everything that you've seen so far and are willing to stick around to see the next video. And the next one that I'm going to be posting is going to be on the making of this one, the hoop skirt. We'll get this done so that as soon as the fabric shows up, we can launch right into making the dress. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. And until then, happy sewing!